Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another COD mobile video, and this one's going to be about the search for Stansfield. It's a new event that started a few days ago, right before Thanksgiving. So, about maybe 3 days ago, on maybe like the 24th of November. And the event's pretty cool. So, I want to explain how it works, just in case you're not familiar or you're missing the big picture. Because I know a lot of people that play, sometimes they're kind of like, if they don't like the event, it's maybe because they don't understand the event. But it should be easy enough that people do understand it, but I still want to go over something that I just kind of realized, and I think it's really really cool. So the search for Stansfield is like an event that's going in conjunction or at the same time as the comics, because in the search for Stansfield you see Ghost and you see um, Templar, and they're looking for Stanfield and the Dark Covenant. So you see them there together. And if you've been following the comics, and this is just something that I realized yesterday, it may be because I just like playing, and sometimes when you're playing, you just love to play. You don't really follow the story, but if you follow the story in the comics, it's actually pretty cool how it's going together. I know in COD Mobile, there's not really any cutscenes, so I mean, there's a couple cutscenes, but it's probably more for like bundles and stuff like that, or when the season starts. But instead of giving a cutscene or maybe like a little movie that explains everything, you kind of actually are living out the comic in real life, because you can see in the story, and I'm not going to click on all of them. They're together, and they're literally on a mission, place by place, looking for Stansfield. They come across a couple of Dark Covenant characters. I'm not 100% sure on the character names and stuff like that, because I really only started playing it when zombies came into Con Mobile a couple months ago. So I know some of these characters are really old from previous seasons and years and stuff like that. So back to the Stanfield search. So what you're pretty much doing without reading the comics is you're actually kind of just living out the event itself, similar to the comic, where you can kind of read how they're going from Miami to Denmark to Morocco to Bakershogan Forest to Turkey to Thailand, and they're pretty much gonna be the same thing when the new comics come out. The Tabernas Desert, Barrett Sea, Kazakhstan, Sweden, Moscow, Siberia, Pacific Ocean, and eventually they're gonna find him more than likely in Alaska. Don't know how that's gonna relate to season 11, which it probably will be. Maybe it's gonna be like a snow um, theme, Christmas snow theme. So that's probably why it's gonna end up in Alaska in the final probably comic, and then um, the final part of the event. And the last reward is going to be Dark Covenant Brute, so that's probably going to be the guy at the end who they have to fight, or something like that, more than likely. So if you kind of want to almost cheat and like kind of skip ahead a little bit, you're going to know that probably in the comic, and which is pretty cool. I'm not saying it's like a mistake or anything like that, because I wish they did more stuff like this on the console games, like Black Ops and Modern Warfare and Warzone. But in the final comic, I'm just gonna assume that you're gonna end up fighting that last guy, the last skin, and it's gonna show them going from place to place. So you can eventually read a little bit of what they're doing, but at the same time, you do again get a bigger picture that each time you play, you get some clues, and then the clues give you some of the story. Again, I'm not going to click on every single story, but you can read what they did in Denmark. It says Templar and Ghost scuba dive underneath an identified ship with Stanfield on it. They emerge and fight on the deck as bullets blare. Templar looks outward into the ocean, watching Stanfield navigate his getaway boat. So I think it's really cool. And that's the whole purpose I'm decided to make this, is like, I wish there's a lot of stuff that COD Mobile does, and I don't know why the main console game doesn't do stuff like this. And that might be kind of a rhetorical question, because I understand that like big zombie YouTubers just bash every single thing that the main game does on the premium game they call it. So if they did something like this, I'm sure those stupid big YouTube channels would just bash how it's corny, it's cheap and whatever. But I think it's really really great. And on the flip side, I'm glad a lot of those YouTubers don't play COD Mobile because they would just ruin the experience altogether. They would just kind of, just bash on everything. But I think it's really cool how you're actually getting to live out. Each time you play, you get a little clue, and you're kind of like, almost in a way reminds me kind of like Transit also, where in a way you're going from place to place and traveling place to place and living out every not literally the location. I know you're just getting clues, but you get to see where they travel. And kind of like I said, if you don't want to look ahead or you don't want to wait for the comics to end, you can kind of figure out that the comics going to end probably again in Anchorage with them fighting the Dark Covenant Brute. It's probably going to be the main guy. And again, it also is conjunction with the Battle Pass where you're getting out, and then eventually you're gonna get Stansfield as the last skin that you can win, and stuff like that. You're probably gonna learn more about him. So everything's kind of like all jiving together really nicely. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys later.